130 years prior, the Silent Night organization unveiled itself to the world. A world then submerged in conflict, drowning in the blood of countless souls. Life had devolved into a relentless nightmare, and the light of hope had all but extinguished in the hearts of people. It was then that the Masters of Murim, united in purpose, established the Central Heavenly Alliance. This alliance resolved to forge a bulwark against the encroaching darkness of the Silent Night. Leading this endeavor was Bak Chin-Hu, a name revered throughout the martial arts world. With the formation of the Northern Heavenly Clan, the Central Alliance pledged unwavering support. They amassed a vast treasury of elixirs and martial techniques for the nascent clan, bolstering their strength to stand against the Silent Knight's advance. As time flowed onward, during the era of Yu Ho, the Northern Heavenly Clan garnered widespread recognition, drawing thousands into its fold. The inevitable clash between the forces of good and evil drew nearer. Jin Ho, the fourth leader, a figure hailed as the Great Wall of the North, rose to prominence amidst the unfolding battles. Supporting him were the four Northern Heavens, who became the very pillars upon which the clan's strength rested. These four individuals possessed the power to sway the tide of war with their own hands. Their mastery of weaponry and martial skills transcended ordinary levels. They consistently spearheaded the charge, leading the troops into the heart of the enemy ranks. First among them was a melee combatant who charged headlong into the fray. A single strike of his fist left devastation in its wake. This was Zhou Chenwu, whose unparalleled close-quarters combat earned him the formidable moniker of Demon Fist. Another was a grandfatherly figure, less imposing in build yet possessing extraordinary agility and speed. Unseen, he would descend upon his adversaries, his long spear delivering cataclysmic blows that pulverized the very ground beneath their feet. This was Ku Yunmu Sheng, whose fighting style was known as the Raging Hurricane. The third of the Northern Heavens Four was an exceptionally swift and adroit swordmaster. He could infiltrate enemy lines undetected, unleashing sudden and devastating attacks. This was Yong Chen Hua, whose skill with the blade earned him the ominous title of Phantom Cursed Blade. The final master among them kept enemies at bay, obliterating all who dared to approach. This was Jae Hyuk Shim, the master of the Long Killer Whip, also known as the Lord of Iron Blood. True to his role as a leader, he always stood at the forefront, fearless in the face of battle. Each swing of his weapon carried the weight of death. This was an unprecedented force that the Silent Night Army had never before encountered. Their numerical advantage proved utterly futile against such might. Jin Ho's very being was a weapon. With a single forceful kick against the ground, he unleashed massive destruction upon the rocks of their battlefield. These four played a pivotal role in driving the Silent Night from the northern lands. On the day the conflict between the Silent Night and the Northern Heavenly Clan reached its zenith, the Silent Night vanished. But then, before the eyes of the 13-year-old Jin Mu Wan, a tragedy unfolded that would forever alter the course of history. His father, the renowned Great Wall of the North, fell not by the hand of his enemies, but under the weight of betrayal from within his own clan. The leader stood before those he had nurtured, those with whom he had weathered countless battles in the pursuit of peace for the entire alliance. Despite his formidable power, he would not bring ruin upon his own in a conflict against the strongest. Leader Jin was unaware of the machinations of the Central Heavenly Alliance. He was forced to confront the powerful figures who held sway over the world of Murim. From the Nine Heavens, the sage Seo Manwha, a genius who had revitalized his family and whose thirst for knowledge had elevated him to the position of advisor to the Heavenly Lord, spoke. He accused Kwang Ho of treason, yet the unequivocally honest and just warrior had never consorted with his enemies and understood that he had become the target of a conspiracy. According to the sage, even the four pillars of the Northern Heavenly Clan stood against him. Surveying the ranks of troops assembled to take his life, the leader became convinced of this grim reality. Those very warriors with whom he had once altered the course of history were now arrayed against him. They had turned their backs on the leader with whom they had fought side by side. Despite their shared ideals and the journey they had undertaken together, the four pillars now stood in complete opposition. None of these legendary fighters betrayed any emotion. They all avoided eye contact with the leader they had forsaken. Jin Kwang Ho had considered them his brothers. He could not fathom their betrayal of the Northern Heavenly Clan. In that moment, he truly became the last warrior of his clan. Looking around, he realized there was still something he had to protect. His young son, seemingly so frail, was still alive. With everyone conspiring against him, the leader knew that attempting escape would merely prolong the inevitable. The Northern Heavenly Clan leader's immense, surging power began to permeate the entire palace. He cried out, declaring that he understood the Central Heavenly Alliance's scheme. Addressing his adversaries, he announced his submission. Though he declared his surrender, the Nine Heavens sensed his terrifying strength and only reaffirmed their belief that the Northern Heavenly Clan had grown too powerful and could become an obstacle to the alliance. Their actions were driven by the fear that as long as such a potent and influential organization existed, they would never achieve complete dominion over the mainland. Accepting defeat without resistance, the leader acted with wisdom, safeguarding the lives of his followers by declaring the Northern Heavenly Clan disbanded and instructing all its members to depart and seek new homes. It was the final command of leader Jin Kwang-ho, a decree that echoed sadly throughout the clan's palace. Renouncing all his achievements, he sought to preserve what he held most dear. Addressing his enemies, he mentioned to his son that he had lost his mother in his youth and had grown up in the harsh northern lands. His last plea was to spare the life of his heir, who posed no threat to them. The sage understood that it would be convenient to extinguish the lineage entirely, but he doubted the assembled crowd would permit such an act. The final moments of this true warrior's life resonated with those present, and they showed respect for leader Kwang Ho. Master Seo Manwha had no choice but to honor his word, for to do otherwise would risk turning the leader of a rival clan against them. Then, leader Jin Kwang Ho grasped his sword with both hands and turned the blade upon himself. As a young member of the Murim warrior clan, little Manwha could not fully comprehend the unfolding events. Deciding against drawn-out farewells that would only cause his son greater pain, he simply offered an apology. The boy, tears streaming down his face, had lost everything. The Northern Sky Clan had been established to shield people from the silent night, and for centuries they had fulfilled their duty with honor. But in the end, the fourth leader of the clan was betrayed by his own comrades. 3 years after those devastating events, the son of a war hero endured a life far worse. He was the constant target of persecution by those who wished him ill, and on this occasion, he had been captured once more. He seemed to recognize the malicious figures standing before him. Gazing into the eyes of these ruthless killers, he questioned their motives. A man with a prominent nose and a thick beard expressed surprise that the son of the former leader of the Northern Clan possessed such resilience. Apparently, they were not the first to attempt to subdue him. This time, Chung Pa-san cut to the chase. This corpulent man declared that he would show no more leniency than those who had come before. He stated that they had no desire to waste years on interrogations, demanding to know the location of hidden weapons and equipment, or they would simply kill him and return to their mainland. In response, the proud son of the Murim hero merely began to laugh. The ridiculous villains felt a disquieting unease at the hunted boy's reaction. Addressing the boy, the fat man attempted to convey the gravity of his situation, continuing to threaten him with slow and agonizing reprisals. Meeting only silence, Pa-san gestured to his subordinate. A bald-headed man acknowledged his superior's command and swiftly moved. With a single, incredibly fast strike, he injured the bound hand of the boy. Jin Mu-wan cried out in sharp pain as his nail was torn away. At that moment, the boy unexpectedly uttered the name of his tormentors. As it turned out, this group belonged to the Murim Alliance. Everyone present was taken aback when he invoked the Nine Heavens. Jin Mu-wan even revealed his understanding of why they had disregarded the promise made to his father. Despite his hardships, he continued to resist.